I got to tell you, the sunshine, the fresh air, the open space, the private and public groups coming together, it can't get better than this. And I want to thank you guys for coming out. I'm cognizant of a 1 hour. A lot of you are on your lunch, so we're trying to get through this pretty efficiently. My name is Jim DeVellis. I'm going to be your MC for a little bit today. Heather Harding, a lot of times we introduce her as the townie, but today she's wearing a couple different hats. Heather is the chairman of the Recreation Board, and she's also the president of the Friends of Foxboro Conservation Commission. On that board with Heather is her son James, her mother Ray O'Leary. You get the trend here. Lauren Bitar from Cable Access. Thank you for volunteering today. She's also on the board. And Paul Hubbard, someplace here. Paul Hubbard and Debbie Cuniff, who wasn't able to come here today. But basically the way this works is Schneider Electric, who is a descendant of the Foxboro Company, over 100 years in town, came to Jack Arthurlet and offered some type of assistance for a community project. And it started with a quick conversation. So the folks at Schneider Electric, and I think if you can just raise your hand quick, Karen Turner, Jackie Canna, Steve Altieri, Mary Beth Connolly, yeah,
Brian Gregg.
And Brian Gregg. So actually, if you're from Snyder, just raise your hand, because a lot of people I don't know. All right. So this is a company that came to us and gave us a grant. And the nice thing about this is it's not quid pro quo. They didn't want anything, and they didn't just hand a check. They've been with us from day one. They come to the Conservation Commission meetings. They were instrumental in the design. We had a day of all the volunteers that came out here to work on it, and we sent them pretty much monthly updates from October up till now. And it's a grant that they had to fight for their other offices that are worldwide. So we had to fight for the grant. They had to fight internally for the grant. And as you can see, what came out of this was just phenomenal. So I'm going to walk you through what's going to happen so you have an idea. Laura Canfield and her daughter Madeline are going to sing "God Save the Queen" for us. Did you change it? You did. What are you going to sing?
Go with the
National Anthem. It's just so hard to keep track. Student, Foxboro, both of them from Foxboro. She's in college down in New York. She came back to mother-daughter singing, so this is phenomenal. Reverend Dudley is going to say a prayer from the South Foxboro Community Church. Bill Keegan, our town manager, is going to say a few words. Bob Bodie, the chairman of the Conservation. I've asked him 3 times and he won't, but I'm going to still make him do something. Jay Barrows is... Huh? Your time's coming. And then Jay Barrows says he'd be here. If he comes here, he's going to say a few words. And then we're going to do Mary Beth Connolly from Snyder, kind of close it off from their perspective. And then we're going to do a ribbon cutting. We have a long ribbon. What I'd like to do is go up the trail everyone take a piece of it, so we get some scissors. And we also have a cup of wildflowers that you can walk out there and plant somebody. They'll come up, plant some place out there. They'll come up every year. So, did I miss anything?
Nope.
Nope. All right, so if you want attention to Laura and Madeline.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free
joke a lot, but that was beautiful. Thank you. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to walk you through in your minds of the different things that happened here around the project, and we'll start at the entrance and come around and end up on the deck.
You want Bill Dudley to go first?
Oh yes, I forgot about Bill. Bill, sorry. Reverend Dudley. Sorry.
As we dedicate this place, it's a place of beauty. What a beautiful day we have. But it's a place where we can share together enjoyment. We can find peace in the beauty of creation. We can find solace. We have different beliefs. We're a diverse community, but it's my privilege and honor to pray for this place, that it be a place of peace and solace and beauty for our community. Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful place that you have gifted to the town of Foxboro. As we observe it today and the beauty that is here and the beautiful day you have blessed us with, we pray that for all who come here, it would be a place of safety, a place of beauty, a place of peace, a place where we together as Foxboro family may find contentment and hope. Thank you for this gift. We pray your blessing and your protection over it and over all who come here today and in the many, many years to come, with thankfulness in your name. Amen.
As I get older. Where's my father-in-law? I just realized. Where's Mario? Mario. I dressed exactly like my father-in-law today. So my son used to make fun of me when I did that. Now I get glasses, so he's always been a sharp dresser, so it's not a bad thing. All right, so I'm going to start at the entrance. La Prelate Road is a public right-of-way, and it's something that took a little bit of coordination with, but the people that are here today from the town, I just want to recognize them quick, and there's a lot of them, but start with the town manager, but there's people here from our planning department, our DPW, which is Parks and Recs, our water department, and our highway department, our finance department, our planning department, and there's probably actually, let me back up. Inside the building, when we're done, if you want to walk around, there's about 10 pages of people that help, so if I forget somebody, it's a good, and you don't need glasses because we put them in big letters. Just take a look at it, but I'm trying to include everyone, but people from the DPW were here weekends, Sundays, trying to find survey for this road that went back to the 1800s. It was fully surveyed. The DPW put the guardrails up, the pavement, they cleared the lot for us up there, all reclaimed asphalt, all telephone poles for guardrails, a huge effort that saved the project time and money. So thank you to all the town workers that worked on this. A few of them that showed up continuously: Dave Laliberti, Artie Reynolds, Roger Hill, Sean Goyette, Chris Gallagher, and the list goes on, but thank you for that. They brought in a lot of fill. This is all handicapped accessible to get from here up to the parking lot at certain grades, so a tremendous amount of fill had to be brought in here, and they trucked that in for us. The bike rack that came from Town Hall they installed for us, so a little bit went a long way on this. First thing you see as you come up is the Schneider Electric Learning Center at the Lane Homestead. The local contractor that did that was Bill Sacchetti from Foxboro. It was kind of a design build. If you remember, it was an old garage teetering on condemning it. We put a lot of effort into restoring it. So what you see there is a building that needs very little maintenance, all constructed with Foxboro talent. If you go inside there, you're going to see a stove that was restored. It used to be working here. The Hardings put a electric heater in it. There's going to be a timeline that's going to go along the top that's in process. Edie Erickson, is Edie here? Yep. One of the, just stand up just for 1 second, this is important, if you could. Edie Erickson is one of the Lane relatives of the 5th generation, and she did the initial sketch on this property of an idea years ago that we kind of jumped on. So, and she's been kind of the caretaker all these years. So I just wanted to recognize Edie for all her help. So Edie had given us her basically family photo albums Linda Walsh is putting it together with Heather, and there's going to be about a 40-foot timeline in there, starting in the 1700s, ending today, for all the work and families and efforts that went on this property. Ed Noonan did all the electricity in there. Danny Marini helped with getting the materials. Foxboro Cultural Council gave us a grant for a local artist. It happens to be my daughter, so I can say one of my favorite artists. So there's a mural in there, 22 feet by 4 feet, that was done because of the cultural giving us a grant. So that was phenomenal. You'll see that in there. Bass Pro donated a bunch of fishing rods and things for the kids. Jane Pierce decorated it with all the books and donations and skulls and bees' nests in there as an educational tool. Dale Wigmore did all the painting, and naming these contractors, that they did it at or much below cost, and a lot of it for free. So if you hear their name, it's not because we paid them and they did a good job. They did a good job, and it came out of their hearts. And then we fitted it up with things that were coming out of the town hall, the chairs, fire extinguishers, things that were past useful nice for a town hall, but we certainly could use them here. Chris McNamara, C-Mac, you know him around town. He's done a ton of projects. Put the concrete inside, the deck outside. All of these concrete things around here, the footings, the pads, all done by C-Mac, all the earthwork. Again, he's got little kids. He did it on Saturdays, Sundays. He's got a staff here. His wife, his mother was here helping. It was amazing. Dooley took care of all the trash for us and the demolition stuff. Tree Tech. Pete Sorbo came back and saved our butts in the last couple of weeks with the fine work and the backhoe and equipment from Mark Sullivan. So all of the site work was just about all donated. Whitney Mitchell and his crew over here. Raise your hand, all
Mitchell,
the crew too.
2 L's.
Yeah. Busted their butts out here, all the planting, the hydro seeding. They spent a day, they directed the Snyder people when they were out here for the community day to do walls, and so way above and beyond, but thank you for that. Corkery family donated the trees that you see there in the birch tree, unsolicited but very appreciated. If you look through the field, what we wanted to do is preserve this. This is town property on the other side, but Steve Panic put the fence up for us. He's a local contractor, local fence guy. On the fence, you'll see bird houses done by Ranger Tom, and some of them in here by Declan Maloney, who was a past Eagle Scout that provided those for us. The farm equipment, you're going to see if you take the time to go inside the building on the top, there's wooden farm equipment that was restored. The metal farm equipment out here, we're in the process of securing it, but all done by Snyder volunteers and Paul Hubbardge. Back over there somewhere. Paul Hubbardge over there. Again, nights and weekends, Yep, Snyder. If you worked on the farm equipment, raise your hand. Right. Yeah, unbelievable. They took it, and this was in the building for years under plywood, and it was just in deterioration. So what you see there is a lot of hours that went into that, and it's a piece of history that's going to live on now. As you walk around the site, you're going to see 4 Eagle Scout projects that came to fruition after we started. Up top is the kiosk. That's done by Scout Mike Gawonski. And what you're going to see there is once they have the roof on it, there's going to be benches. It's going to honor the 5-generation plaque that's up there. And you can go there for all types of maps and information and community events and things like that. So not quite finished, but it's a lot bigger and better than we ever expected. The fire pit was done by David Costa as an Eagle Scout project. Initially, fire chief said no because fire is a liability, but when we went through the master plan, you can see it from the road, it's open, we can use it in the winter, there's skating, there's going to be a sign with a number on it. It's a liability that was addressed, and thanks to the fire chief and the scouts, that's going to be a tremendous amenity. The picnic tables that are down there, another scout project by David Dow, all handicapped accessible, built them, brought them to the site, and ready to go. So families are already using them for picnics. So thank you to David Dow and the scout group for that. And lastly, there's a storybook trail that's starting at that top corner. It goes all through the woods, and you're going to see posts with storybook pages laminated. There's a bunch of different books and authors, and they're going to interchange them, and the Moms Club is going to be responsible for that. So you can walk your kids to a thing, read a page, go to the next one, read its exercise, and it's phenomenal. So that is
Scout Gonzalez.
Scout. Yeah, did I say
here.
that?
No.
Oh, it's Scout Joe Gonzalez.
Joe.
Yeah, right there. So, and Gawanski, sorry, and all the other scouts, raise your hand. Yeah.
They're the only people that can get out of school.
Oh yeah, you should be in school right now, by the way. No, thank you for that, and I know you guys are out here all the time, so it's these scout projects are getting bigger and bigger and more complex, but thank you for that. The category I call community, things that came together that weren't really planned all the way through, but came. Linda Walsh, remember the sign behind it, provided us that, and basically she did that for us to say, look, it's Foxboro, it's conservation, it's coming. It was covered well by Linda, and she's helping with the timeline in there as well. So great community outreach from Linda. The Calabrese family, there was a woman in town, did a lot of community service, Ewa Jawakowski, that passed away. And the Calabrese family, in addition to redoing the sign up there, they have a young artist that we had paint all the white letters on the sign. Raised money, over $1,000 for this bench over here that we put in, and it's got a little plaque on it, so it's a place of comfort. Ewa didn't have a big family, but the Calabrese, Rachel Calabrese, somewhere here, thought it appropriate to do something in town that commemorated her, so that's something that's going to live on. This round picnic table here, this was no introduction needed. Christine Igo, her husband Jim Freeman passed away unexpectedly, and Lynn Powers and her family, her husband and kids and friends, raised money for this picnic table, and it was a place where Christina and Jim had their first date, was at the Lane property. So that's something that her friends thought would be fitting to have here to live on. So that's something that is it's hard to put words on. How am I doing? Want to jump in at any
No,
point?
you're doing good.
So David Risch. David Risch was our first conservation agent. He passed away years ago, but he had an intense vision for preserving open space. So back in 1986, it went to town meeting on his shoulders to buy the Lane property. 80 acres, this is the 1 acre that we've developed for education. And if you look at the deeds, this is exactly what he envisioned. Education, enjoyment, passive enjoyment. So this area over here there's a plaque over here. The rock came from Richie Pasella, was donated. If you look at the plaque, it kind of describes David Risch, but the Hardings donated a bench over there. The Recreation Department donated the granite chess table, and it's being planted as a peaceful area to sit, put your back to the traffic, and just kind of enjoy as a commemoration to a town worker that we wouldn't be here if it wasn't him. And I guarantee you it would be houses back here. That's the way it goes. So.
The flagpole's not the permanent one because it's crooked. Could you clap that?
I'm getting to that yet. That's embarrassing.
Look.
Okay, so I have a list of to-dos. Now the to-dos is you're going to see a cupola on that building when the town hall comes down. They promised me that we'd be able to save it. So on record. Yeah, well, we tried to get up over the weekend, but we just can't get up through the roof. But we're going to try to get it up there. The flagpole is in process. It's sandblasted. We had trouble getting the top mechanism, so it was hopefully today, but it's very closely. So that's a temporary one in there. But the flagpole from town center, the common, is going to go right there eventually, and that is about 70 feet. So that's going to be something nice. We're going to do a final wearing course with stripes for the handicap. That's to come. And I think the best to come is we don't know, because we designed it. If you look over in this area, that's kind of like an empty palette. We're going to give you some wildflowers to put out there. It's going to change. Groups have come and they want to do things. So when this gets turned over to the Conservation Commission, I'm sure you're going to see changes in that area up there. And then why are we doing all this? The hopes is there's a place for the seniors to do things on the deck. There's things for artists. The science clubs want to come. Someone wants to book a wedding here already. It's a small way for the community to say it's yours. it's tax dollars, it's tax land for your enjoyment. So the big picture through Schneider Electric, through the vision of all the groups that worked on this. And I'm just going to close quickly with, sometimes I work on these projects, I get a little too close. I had asked somebody, if you had to describe this project, how would you describe it? And I was community, so somebody had sent to me a text this morning and it said, this was an awe-inspiring project that involved the best elements of life, not just the community, nature, creativity, art, history, philanthropy, honoring past times and individuals that have touched us. It was all slowly woven into something that started so simple. Gotta love text, so that may end up on a plaque here because I think that kind of summarizes it. So, did you want to say anything?
Nope, I'm good. You covered it all.
All right. So I'm going to sit now, but if Bill, you want to say a few words from the town?
First of all, I'd just like to, yes, a nice hand for Jim and Heather. Nice job. So good afternoon, everyone. And my first impression today was, wow, this is amazing. I mean, it's just a terrific project for the entire community. And when we talk about partnerships and community, I think this really truly defines the word partnership. You've got the private and public sector coming together. You've got the community elements coming together all at once. And for somebody who has a job like I do, this is a dream come true. I mean, it's something that, it wasn't something that we individually thought up. It was the community that came together and brought this together. And a lot's been said about all the different participants today, but a few people have to lead this process. And I just want to say thanks to Jim and to Heather, because they've really been the two key elements of making this happen. So thank you. The other thing that came to mind today too was that, we don't have truly a community center, but we do now. This is about as community-minded as it gets. We're close to one of the biggest attractions in the entire country right next door, but this is our place. And this is something that all of us can come to and enjoy, and really just take the time to think, enjoy the wilderness and all the elements that make Foxboro such a great community. So I'm here just to say thank you to all of you collectively, and on behalf of the town, I appreciate all the work that the town employees and town elements have contributed to this, and just say enjoy it. I think it'll be something that we'll all have for a long time to come. Thank you very much.
Mary Beth Connolly, would you like to? Mary Beth is one of the vice presidents at the Schneider Electric Group.
Thank you. So I don't want to spend too much longer because I think it's time for everyone to go explore these beautiful grounds, but we really did just want to say thank you for letting us be a part of this. We have been part of this community, starting with the Foxboro company well over 100 years ago. And as you probably know, the Schneider Electric, we have almost 1,000 employees here, and so Foxboro is a big part of everybody, and they feel very passionate about being part of the community and doing something so great. So I'm going to say a special thanks to Steve Altieri, Jackie Canna, Karen Turner, because of their leadership. You mentioned they're getting the money, but it really was, this embodies what Schneider Electric wants to do in terms of being part of a community. We're very big on volunteerism, we're very big on well-being, we're very big on sustainability. It's all part of our core values, and this is, well, it is. So thank you very much for letting us all be a part of it. Thank you again for all the Schneider employees who've worked so hard. We've already mentioned them many times, and really, we're really looking forward to being able to enjoy this as part of the community going forward. So I appreciate it.
And just one last person I want to thank, Katie Martin. I don't know where she went. She was here in the back. Katie Martin is my landscape architect that gets stuck doing these projects, and she came out to the ribbon. She's the designer behind this, and I'm almost embarrassed because now she knows the time that I spend away from the office. So a great landscape architect that really put the time into the graphics and the presentation stuff. So thank you, Katie, for that. So what we have is a very long ribbon. If we want to take the time to just, I think if we go along this path to the spread out, we'll Pass the ribbon out, pass some scissors out.
After the ribbon, the wildflowers are in that bucket. Anybody who wants to, there's cups there. They can take a cup full of wildflowers. And anywhere over there down on the slopes where you can see it's not done, feel free to spread the flowers and we'll see what comes up.
All right.
History. How many times have you
On the cut. Jack off the letter's going to write. So when you see Jack's name go up and he yells, everyone's going to cut the scissors, all right? All right, Jack?
We're good.
Number 3.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
All right, please cut.
This side.
If I can just have your attention, Jay always likes to make an appearance, and this is what we should have expected. All right. So Jay's just going to address the crowd a little bit.
Good afternoon. I apologize that I'm late, but maybe I'm timely. I just wanted to recognize this great effort and appreciate all the work that everyone's done, Jim, specifically in your leadership in this whole role, and many others. But I wanted to bring a proclamation from the House of Representatives. Be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers sincere congratulations. He's coming to get me because I'm late with the next one. The Foxboro Conservation Commission, in recognition of the opening of the Lane property conservation land, the entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses a hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. Given today, the first day of June 2017, signed by Robert DeLeo, our speaker, and yours truly, Jay Barrows. And this is just a wonderful opportunity that our young people have to enjoy this space, preserve this space, the work that Schneider Electric did in helping support it, the Boy Scouts efforts, and many, many others. So congratulations, and it's an honor to be here with you all this afternoon, however late. Excuse me.
Thank you.